Hello everybody, this is Bloody Sword here yet again with another StarCraft 2 replay analysis thing. Going to be a TVP on, what is this, something Sky Island, Korhal Sky Island, maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Anyway, again, it is going to be a TvZ, and some cool things to know about this map is that it's cross-spawn only. Going into this game, I was thinking about opening with a Reaper. I've been doing a lot of CC first builds, so I figured it's time to mix it up a little bit. So going to be going for the very early Reaper to just check out what the opponent is doing. So going to be throwing down the first supply depot at the wall, and then going to be throwing down the barracks here shortly. Going to be getting the gas up at 12 and sending the rally point up there. Up until that point, I don't think there's going to be anything wrong. And again, this is only going to be analyses of lost games, so I'm going to lose this game. Just letting you guys know that in advance. Constant supply or SCV production, and the barracks is halfway done. So I'm going to be throwing down this Reaper. First things I should be doing, checking for the expansion here, obviously, and checking for the gas timings. The gas and how much gas that the Zerg player has taken is going to be crucial in this game. So, just finishing up this barracks, and finally getting 2 in gas as soon as that, whatever it's called, refinery finishes. Up until this point, there's nothing really out of the ordinary. I should be getting rid of one of the SCVs on this gas so I can get up my expansion a little bit faster, and there we go. And I wasn't sure if I should put 1 or 2 in the gas, so I was kind of like lost about that. But anyway, I think I just keep it at 2 for a little bit, get the reactor down, and then go. So I'm going to start doing that. That's a little mess up. The second I get that enough gas for the Reaper, I should be getting rid of one of the people in the gas, or one of the SCVs. Orbital command, constant SCV production. Going to be getting that Reaper and reactor as soon as that Reaper is done. There is an Overlord scanning out what I have, but there's nothing I can do about that. I have 400 minerals, so this expansion was delayed by around 20 minerals. And so, more things that I could be working on. I should be sending down an SCV to finish off this wall in here, and there it is. I don't know why I'm lagging so badly, but anyway, this Reaper is going to be going cross map, and it should see what is up. I do see the expansion, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to be harassing this drone, possibly getting it killed, but he is going to be running it to the extractor. Nothing I can do about that, so I'm going to be running into the main base, scout the gas, and I see that he has around 400 harvested, but the main thing that I scout out here is that he has produced 4 Zerglings. Most of the time, if you are going to be producing Zerglings this early, it's only going to be 2, so I should be throwing down a bunker here. And I'm just going to be picking off some Zerglings. This is a pretty bad pathway to, and this is another mistake that I made. Pulling this this Reaper back this direction is just like, there's going to be queens up by the 5-minute mark, unless he's doing something ridiculously weird. But there should be queens up, and I should have known that, and because of it, the Reaper just died. So, 2 Marines are on the way, and again, because I saw those very early Zerglings, I'm going to be a little suspicious of something being up, so I do have the bunker down. I'm going to be doing a cute little trick with my SCV, just hold positioning it on the right next to where the Zerglings could have run by, and because of it, they messed up the AI a little bit, and then they just, after a little bit of dallying, they swung up to the bottom of it, but they didn't even get to the expansion area. So, this SCV is kind of idle, but I feel like that's okay because I could always throw down the extra supply depot a little bit faster. At this point, I'm going to be throwing down a couple of more barracks just for additional production. I should be making a couple more Marines and or a Widow Mine, or swapping these 2. I was suspecting some sort of early pressure, so I figure probably making Marines and Widow Mines would be the best option. Constant SCV production is a little bit off. I could be throwing down this mule here, and that would be pretty helpful. I should be getting up a second gas here, and that was delayed. I was able to run into his main base, and I do see another gas being taken, so that's kind of suspicious, and I did see him throwing more people on gas. I didn't see any buildings per se, so I didn't see like the roach warren or a baneling nest, but I saw some an additional gas, and I did see the other additional gas, so this is going to alert me that definitely something is going up. So finally getting this second gas here, going to be starting my engineering bay and the starport, throwing down the reactors, and I should have enough time to deal something, or do something. So I see a couple of zerglings. I figure there's not too much in, so I'm able to pick off a couple of zerglings for free. This is kind of a risky maneuver when I think about it, because I'm throwing down 4 marines, and that's literally half of my army almost when I did send them out, so it's a pretty risky maneuver. I could try and justify it and say I can always run back to the bunker, but again, it's kind of risky. Maybe sending out a couple of marines and just constantly going back and forth between the bunker and stuff would be a lot more safer. Or a lot safer. So I have a couple of Hellions out, and again, just focusing on the macro. Another missed SCV for a couple of seconds again, and production on my barracks is very, very slow. So more things that I could be working on. Just really production, constant production is what I feel like I should be focusing on the most. So I have 4 Hellions, and this is a good number. Going to be re-rallying my factory onto my Hellions so they constantly catch up with each other. I'm going to be going down to his base and finally starting this stem. This stem was delayed, I know this for a fact. And that was possibly because I got the medevac out earlier, but anyway. Another mistake right here. I could justify it because I could say, well, I didn't see anything from the when I scouted with my Hellions, and it's okay to send this many Marines to kill this Overlord, but again, what I just talked about yesterday and the Mothership Core, it's like there could be like a Nidus Worm right here with like 15 roaches just poking at the front of my base, and without any Marines to protect it, it would be pretty hard to do anything. So something to keep in mind, I guess. And again, stem timing is delayed. This is probably not going to be constant production. I don't even have enough minerals for constant production. That's a lot of Zerglings, so I lose a Hellion, but in the units last time I feel like I traded pretty efficiently right there, so I'm pretty happy with that. Didn't see a third base over here, so scanning the other one. Pretty happy with what I see. I only see a couple of drones here, but I'm able to roast them regardless. So pulling back the weak Hellion, but a bunch of Zerglings come here, and they are going to be able to surround a couple of my Hellions. I also misclicked on the debris here because I'm not really used to this map, and because of it, a couple more Hellions are going to go away. So while those Hellions are broken off, I'm just going to be using these for scouting duty, possibly picking off a some units. But with these Hellions, I try and get a couple of drone kills. I got nothing, but I did get really, really crucial scouting information. I got the Baneling Nest, and I also got the Roach Warren. Now the units lost tab are pretty even here. And with that Widowmine and all these SCVs at the front, he just lost so many Zerglings here. Again, in the units lost tab, I'm like 200 ahead. He says whoops, and my production must have fallen behind. Again, because I'm floating like 500 minerals. With this, with all my production up already, I feel like I should have thrown down a CC at this point. There's pretty much no reason why I shouldn't be. I feel like I could say that I was afraid of something, but here I throw down additional barracks, but I really needed that expansion up, and we'll see why later in this game. But floating 400 minerals at around the 10-minute mark, I feel I should have at least started. No, yeah, definitely the CC should have gone down. So here's a couple more Widow Mines that I'm going to be producing again because I saw this crap. But he knew that I saw that crap, so he's just going to be completely switching it up. So I didn't see anything with the Hellions. I could have just what I could have done is sent one Hellion up here and one Hellion down here just to see if there's like any sort of units. prepare for it, and if there wasn't any units like in either side, then I should have immediately gone, because he would have been trying to like switch his tech and do something else, unless he's doing some really funky Nidus play, like trying to be going for the main. But the only overlord that I see is right here, and I should have cleared that out. I have way too many SCVs, and because I still don't have my third CC, this is a huge mistake by my part. And I'm going to be trying to save these Hellions, going to be pulling them back, and he sees all my units, so I'm not sure if that was the best idea, because now he's going to be morphing Banelings. He already has Baneling speed, and this is going to be kind of hard for me to deal with. I'm going to be stimming up a couple of Marines. I should have preemptively split all my units. I was trying to pick off all the Banelings beforehand, but there are just going to be way too many Banelings, and one of the Widow Mines goes off without really killing anything. I use another stem, try and split to the best of my abilities, but these Banelings just pretty much even up the unit's lost tab again. And he's already transitioning. He has all of the crucial buildings, and he's already starting +2/+2, while my +2/+1 is not even done yet. Or not even started yet. Well, +1 is whatever. I hope you guys understand. So a bunch of Marines are going to be produced still. My third base is just now starting at the 13-minute mark. This is so ridiculously late. I'm starting to mule at a ridiculously oversaturated base. I should have just stopped Marine SCV production since I didn't have the third base. This is just poor play. And I got a couple extra kills on this Widow Mine, but that's like really nothing. Again, I could have gotten like a Viking to kill these overlords and really prevent scouting information as well as that delayed Nidus. My +2 attack is just starting. I don't have +2 armor on the way yet, and that's another mistake. So I'm going to just be moving out across the map. Going to be making some turrets, because I did see with my Hellions that he did have Mutalisks, so I'm going to be doing that. I set down some Widow Mines, and he's just going to be running away, so I'm going to unburrow and constantly keep moving forward. Production is okay, not the best, but it's a lot better than it was earlier. I'm going to be trying to kill off this base, and I should have already set down some Widow Mines. If I had like 2 or 3 of these Widow Mines already placed, instead of trying to be, again, I was just being like super greedy here. I would try to walk up this, set all my Widow Mines like right here where he could have waited a little bit and then gone out, but since he was really active and really already prepared for this attack, he was just able to clean up all of my things. So I should have had Widow Mines down here, so I could have had a safe area to pull back to, but again, I was being too greedy. And I just had to be more patient with the Widow Mine leapfrogging. The third base is now done for me, but it's still not placed by the 16-minute mark, and that's just pretty much unacceptable. Some misrallied units are just going to be eaten up here, and these Marines are trying to be heroes and trying to clean up as many Banelings as they can. They get a good few of them, but he's ahead of my supply by like 20 at this point, so it's kind of hard for me to catch up. These should be unloading, and I should be getting prepared for an attack. If I was him, I'd be trying to get ready for an attack on the third base, and that's what he is going to be doing. I should have not even landed this. I saw where he was, and I should have just lifted it up and tried to return it back to my main base, if anything. I tried to move my Marines, I guess, in order to protect it, but here I go back to my main base, and a couple of nice Widow Mine shots. Could have spread these Widow Mines out a little bit earlier. It's just, I don't feel like I have the actions per minute in order to like do all of the things that I'm saying, so just constant practicing would really help me out in that regard. So I'm more comfortable with constantly building supply depots, constantly building units, and things like that. But he's on 4 base. I'm not even on 3. He killed my third CC, and I'm down in upgrades. I saw that he was already on 2/2 on his lings and stuff, and I haven't even finished it at that point. So I feel like I was way too far behind in order to actually do anything. If he was on top of his macro, he would have at least been at 170-ish supply, I want to say. And if we actually look at the map, did he have his fifth? No, he didn't have his fifth up, but he could have easily taken one, like right here-ish, I feel. And again, there's just so many Mutalisks that I feel like I couldn't have really done anything. When you have this many Mutalisks, they can pick off Widow Mines without even the Widow Mine being able to activate in time. So I needed like more missile turrets in order to cover it, but that would have just delayed my third base even more. And so the main things that I can pick up from this game, I guess, are a little better scouting with Hellions if I wanted to move out, I guess, and earlier third bases. Constant production like always, and the upgrades needed to be a little bit better. So I'll just be focusing on that in the future games, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys probably, hopefully, tomorrow.